Yeah, hi. Welcome back. This will be chapter 39 of ShutterBug. I'm like 90% certain that the kidnapping counter has not changed from 3. So, I'm gonna double check that real quick and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So the kidnapping counter is actually at 4, and with that, we'll get right into the chapter. Walking up the steps before punching in the security code, Jason pulls Peter into his safe house, one of many. He stops in the living room, quote-unquote, of his hideout, finally letting go of Peter's wrist. Facing him, he pulls in a lungful of air, only to let it out when Peter holds his hand up. "I think it's best if we had a hot drink for this." Jason nods and notices the slight tremble in Peter's hand. Whether it was from the still cold air or the nerves, Jason didn't know. They stand in silence as Jason moves to the kitchenette to put on a pot of water. Tea was a safe choice. Probably. The sharp whistle breaks Jason out of his spiraling thoughts as he pulls 2 cups, handing one to Peter and once the tea bag is in the water. They both take a breath for a few moments, talking at the same time. I'm from another universe." Jason pauses and looks at Peter, who looks up at him. "Oh, we're doing secret identities. I'm Spider-Man." Jason blinks. "I'm sorry, can we go back to the other thing real quick?" Peter sits on the makeshift couch and holds his cup closer. Jason sits too. How do I explain?" He's talking to himself mostly, but takes a breath and tries again. "Like I said, I'm from another universe, so I know how that sounds, but it's the truth. I don't know how I got to this world, but I was in New York one minute, and the next I was getting charged at by a guy bigger than a bodybuilder. He was in a green puddle, too, for some reason. Found out he's known as Bane at the library. Had to try and figure out where I was since I didn't recognize anything. And then I came across Jason listens as Peter talks about how he came across the job ad, which led him to the manor that night.
I ended up with the tickets to the gala.
This is insane, but it makes sense. Well, more sense. Peter nods and smiles a bit. "So, you're Red Hood?" Jason can see the calculating look in his eyes. He nods and Peter puts his hand to his chin. "So, that means Bruce is Batman, and your siblings the rest of the Bat family?" Jason sighs. "How did we manage to keep it from you this long?" Peter chuckles. "I was kind of too busy not dying to notice. Probably." It's Jason's turn to laugh. "Probably. So, Spider-Man?" Peter nods, scanning a more serious look. "Yes, but please, I'm trusting you with this, not your family." Jason can tell it's important to him. He nods, sending him a smile. "My lips are sealed." Peter smiles at him, and Jason's own grows a bit. "Thank you, it's just I have a bit of anxiety about it getting out." Jason nods. Who best would get it than another vigilante? Jason can see Peter fidget, waiting for some questions to come. "I'm not going to ask you what happened. Just know that I'm here if you want to talk about it." Peter nods, and Jason can see him smile into his cup. "So, about earlier." Peter chokes on his tea, wiping his chin on his sleeve. Yeah?" Jason can't hold back the small smirk. "You said it yourself. You've been plenty clear. I'd say it's my turn." Jason holds back his growing blush and looks at Peter. How does someone tell the guy they like that they like them? That the only reason he is the way he is because of them. And it's true, isn't it? Only 2 years before meeting Peter, Jason was putting heads in duffel bags, aiming ARs at the whole of Gotham's drug syndicate. Now he's looking at the small things, and think of Peter. Thinking of how his face would light up at the photo opportunity, his smile when he gets a good picture. They always are. Jason can feel the heat rise to his face. He lets his words fall out before he can go back. "I like you." It sounded too simple to say. so small compared to his thoughts. But Peter just grins. I like you too. Jason blinks, the words ring in his head. He likes hearing it. What does this mean? For all Jason's done, confessing isn't one of them. Peter's ears turn red and glances down. Well, if you want, we could... And again, it's up to you. We could be together? Jason finds himself nodding before the words even register. Huh. Jason's not sure what happens after that, but he does know that Peter will be getting a new phone the next morning and will text him. His boyfriend. Peter. Huh. He lays on his back, staring at the ceiling, Peter having left earlier. 2 mugs sit next to each other on the coffee table. Huh. Tossing his keys on the counter, Peter falls face first onto his couch. He can't help the smile that makes his face hurt. He jumps up a bit when he feels something join him on the couch. Cat Jason bumps his head against Peter's. Lifting a hand up, he scratches behind the cat's ear. Peter turns his head and looks back at the cat, running a finger across the white tuft of fur on his head. Green eyes staring back at him. You do look like him. The him in question pops up in Peter's mind and he pushes his face back into the couch. I can't believe he actually did that. That I actually said that. He wants to scream into a pillow. He'd been so awkward about it. A knock on his door breaks him out of his thoughts. He glances at the door, then at Cat Jason. Sighing, he stands and makes his way to the door. Wade and Matt are standing on the other side. What are you guys doing here? It was almost midnight by now, having left the bar around 9, and Jason and Peter talking had taken a few hours. Both talking about how they became vigilantes, neither of them pushing when the other lulled in explanations. Wade pulls him into a tight hug. My baby boy is all grown up. He sheds a single tear. Matt shakes his head and walks into Peter's apartment. Congrats, kid. Peter looks confused, but soon catches on. How could you possibly know? I didn't even say anything. Wade smiles and skips over to the couch. Don't you question it, Petey. Mother's intuition. Peter raises an eyebrow, but doesn't bother questioning it. Tell us everything. Wade pats the seat next to him on the couch. Peter sits and can tell this is going to be embarrassing. That's all. Have a good night. Oh yeah, bloopers. Okay, no, wait, shit! 30. He did get kidnapped again. Wait. How many kidnappings are we at? Shoot. I think kidnapping counter 1, 2... 1 was the old lady, 2 was Lex Luthor, 3 was Slade, and apparently... And he got kidnapped again in chapter 35. What the hell happened in chapter 35? Okay, so he got kidnapped by Helios in chapter 35. Okay, so he got kidnapped in chapter 35. Got it. I forgot about this kidnapping. 1 second, we're gonna get some realistic choking noises. I am recording chapter 39 of ShutterBug. Hello, my love. It's the I get the confession chapter. Well, now you have. No! It's always the worst timing. It always has the worst timing. You could hear the frickin' fans coming on in my brain, trying to cool it down, because my brain's not thinking. Anyway, so we have this, but like, it's a problem. Oh no. That's bad. Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like, isn't garlic sauce in, like, everything? 'Cause you're here interrupting my recording. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. With garlic sauce. On your rice. You have not been caught up with... Yeah. That's gonna suck. No, goodbye. I love you. After the war. Alright. Back to focusing, back to reading.